gentlemen, welcome. We are at Lions Field here today. Your Moses Lake High School Chiefs taking on the Eastmont Wildcats. And the strange thing about tonight's football game is that both of these teams have played an equal number of times on this field. With all the smoke that's been down in the Wenatchee area, the Eastmont Wildcats have already played up here the last 2 weeks in a row. So it's going to be interesting. We got a terrific pregame show ahead here, and I've invited our news director, our iFIBER 1 news director, Bill Stevenson, and we're going to talk with him in just a moment. We're going to cut away to a quick commercial break to thank some of our sponsors, and we're going to be right back.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
For all those who don't know, Broadway Bar and Grill, located at 302 West Broadway, is the spot to be every night of the week. Monday through Wednesday night karaoke. Thursday night, ladies, it's all for you. Drink specials and a DJ. Friday night live music, blues, rock to heavy metal. And on Saturday nights, come get down with Big Daddy DJ Live and the official Corona party at Broadway Bar and Grill, 302 West Broadway in Moses Lake. Don't forget, we have great food, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Hi, I'm Annette with Grant PUD. Don't let your bill catch you off guard when the weather changes. Sign up for our budget pay program, which will take 12 months of your regular bill and average it so you have one easy to pay amount every month. Ask your CSR at 766-2505 or look us up at www.gcpud.org for more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Go. And good evening, folks. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER 1 Sports, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our pregame show. The Moses Lake High School Chiefs football team is set to take on the Eastmont Wildcats. Before we start talking a little more football, I had the opportunity to bring up Bill Stevenson. He is the iFIBER 1 News Director, and as you know, coming up here in October, iFIBER 1 News is going to be launching the very first daily news program servicing the Columbia Basin right here. It's going to be all about news right here in the Columbia Basin. And Bill has been working in news for a good 20 years.
Yes.
And, you haven't waited for the launch of iFIBER 1 News. You and the news team, you guys have been out already covering stories. And tell us some of those big stories you've already posted on our Facebook page.
Well, we've been using Facebook as a sort of soft opening, getting a chance to practice with our video work and our storytelling. Ryan Lancaster and I come from a predominant print background. I've done some radio in the past. So it's been a good place. We were the first ones to come out with the Wilson Creek young lady who was missing and just recently contacted her family. We also did the Quincy Balloon Fest where we got some beautiful footage. That was an incredible time. And we've had a few stories here and there that, so far, most of the big ones lately we've had up first and better than anyone else.
You've scooped a lot of your stories. You've scooped everyone. And I've read some of the messages people have posted on our Facebook page. I don't know how many times I've seen, wow, that's terrific. You guys are the first one to post this, and it's so nice to hear about this stuff when it happens.
That's part of the benefit of having digital delivery like that with Facebook, and the website's going to be better. We're going to be able to put it up instantaneously. We're going to be able to provide more photographs, more video, just easier access to content than Facebook can, and it'll be a bit more available to anyone who wants to see it, not just people who use Facebook. So we'll really expand that reach. But it's true, we get a story, we can put it up within minutes or within an hour rather than waiting a day or two for it to print and be driven back and delivered to a doorstep, or waiting for the Spokane truck to drive all the way back and put it through their video process.
Yeah. And you've had experience, you mentioned in radio, working in newspaper, and now TV. You run a pretty tight ship. I mean, you've when you were the editor at newspapers, you've set records there. And now here we are. Like you said, we got the soft launch on Facebook. How's it been a little bit different going into TV?
It's easier just to write it rather than write it and put video to it, but it's a lot more fascinating rather than capturing 1/500th of a second of an event. We're capturing minutes, or sometimes these meetings like an hour or two, or just a few seconds here and there. And it's just a fantastic new experience. I think everybody gets to a point where they want to learn a little more and get another challenge, and this is one that Ryan and I have been taking on and just eating it up. It's just been fantastic.
Boy, Ryan's done a terrific job, too.
Yes. Well, Ryan Lancaster was working at a Cheney Free Press newspaper when I hired him for the daily newspaper here in Moses Lake. He came with me. He's one of the best reporters I've seen, very diligent, very conscientious about his work. He reflects that same drive that I have for accuracy and making sure our news is fair and are balanced and factual as possible.
Yeah, and that's what iFIBER 1 News is all about. We've set a lot of firsts so far. And check out our Facebook page, and you can see, I don't know how many stories you guys have already put up there, but check out our Facebook page or go directly to our website. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/iFIBER Communications, or just go straight to our website, iFIBER1.com. And like I said, Bill does a terrific job. He runs a tight ship. Obviously, my arm is in a sling here.
Our Facebook page is iFIBER 1 News for the news part. Communications is for all of our television programs and for our digital delivery and customers who want to keep track of things. We're trying to post whenever there's a brownout or a power outage or some technical service that causes malfunction to help people understand what's occurring, and also when we have new movies put on, new television programs, and new shows.
Yep, you're absolutely right. See, that's why I bring him on the show. All right, folks, don't forget, iFIBER 1 News launching here. Right now we've got the launch set for Monday, October 8th. And should be we're really excited about this. This is going to be 5 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and we're going to rebroadcast that news program at 5:30 and 6, and then in the late evening hours. And if you've missed it then, don't worry, because on TV you can turn around and see it the next morning and again at lunchtime before we pick up the next live broadcast at 5 p.m. And, of course, as we deliver all our programming, it's on, if you're an iFIBER TV customer, on Channel 1, or on our website, iFiber1.com, or on your mobile device. So,
and, I just want to take a quick moment for people watching this sportscast. We're really open to any information and anyone. If you are with a hobby group or a nonprofit or service organization, send us your information. With this website, we never have to say no. We never have to say we're out of pages, we can't print it. We want to hear from the community. We really want you to take part with us. If you shoot a picture or a video, contact us. Our email is news@ifiber.tv. That's NEWS @ifiber.tv. Or you can call our tip line if you like, which is 509-398-8201.
All right. Bill, thank you very much. We're going to cut away to another commercial break here, and when we come back, I'm going to have Dr. Craig Harder come on. We're going to talk some football, and we're going to also interview the head coach for the MLHS, the defending national champion drill team.
They're great.
All right, stay with us, folks. We're going to be back in just a second.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
And welcome back, folks. We're in the middle of our pregame show down here at Lions Field. The Moses Lake High School Chiefs set to take on the Eastmont Wildcats. And we're going to be talking some more football, but we had a rare opportunity. Of course, my color commentator here, Dr. Craig Harder of Moses Lake Family Dentistry. And Dr. Harder, he pulled some strings. His daughter is one of the MLHS. And we were able to get their head coach, Lori, to come on with us. Lori, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So a couple weeks ago, we had the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Mm-hmm. A few of the MLHS teams were inducted, including some of yours.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty special.
That was exciting. We had 2 teams. My first 2 years coaching were inducted, and so I felt pretty proud.
Now, you guys are a force to reckon with. I mean, not just, in the Columbia Basin or the state of Washington. There's a lot of people, if you said MLHS throughout the country, they would know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, there's a few, but yeah, we're excited about that.
Now, I understand you guys are going to do a halftime performance, too.
We are. Tonight we're going to do another POM number, and it actually is a competition number. It's not quite ready for competition, but it's ready for the football crowd. We're excited to show it off.
All right.
Craig, now your daughter's on the MLHS team, so you know more about this than I do.
Well, I better. At least I can talk a good game. But, yeah, it's been exciting to have my daughter involved. And, Lori, one of the things Kody and I keep talking about each week with the MLHS is how they are true athletes and how hard they work. Tell us a little about the practice schedule that the girls go through.
Yeah, it's pretty rigorous. Like a fall sport or a winter sport, you have a much shorter season. And the MLHS, they make the team in May. We practice most of the summer and all year long until nationals. So it's sort of an all year round. We practice at 6 a.m. every morning because that's when we get the gym. And then evenings.
So you're kind of low man on the totem pole for practice?
We're low man on the totem pole, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But more state titles than anybody else?
Yeah. Well, no,
No,
I think
wrestling's
wrestling
probably got you
still, but
still?
they've been around a lot longer.
Yes, that's a
so,
good point.
so if we put years, if we put percentage, we'd beat wrestling.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
How many competitions will you be going to this year?
Well, we have to go to 2 competitions with qualifying scores, but usually we like to go to 3 or 4 to have a little more practice. And then when you qualify, you get to go to districts, and then if your district scores are high enough, you get to go to state. And this year we hope to go to a new, instead of going to nationals, which it's a little expensive to raise all that money every year, we're going to try a new competition, which is the Pacific Northwest Championships, and that's in Boise, Idaho.
All right.
So
Good. And I understand you'll be having another competition here this year again?
we will, February 9th. Hopefully you guys will be there.
right.
We will be there. Now, I heard that Dr. Harder was actually out there dancing
He was.
last
But
year.
again, all footage has been destroyed. Cody.
Actually, that's
I know,
not
no
true.
promises.
That's not true.
I think it's even on YouTube, isn't it?
We're gonna go digging through that
Oh,
footage.
no.
So,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Yeah, we have a crazy dad contest. Crazy dad dancer or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know. He might be working, so I don't know if he might be
Yeah,
working
that's
with
going
me.
to be my excuse this year.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Well, one of the things that I thought was kind of unfair, you guys only have a few competitions throughout the whole year where, football you've got, a 10 or 12 game schedule, and basketball you've got, 18 games or whatever it is. Do you guys have anything going on in the summer, or at least any performances that you guys get to do?
We really don't do any performances in the summer. We go to a camp, and we can take a home routine there, and we learn a lot of routines. But it's really just training most of the year, and then we start with the football. And we don't really normally do our competition numbers for football because they're much more difficult. Tonight's routine is about 3 times faster than 2 weeks ago. That's sort of where the difficulty comes in. And the crowd the crowd likes the slow ripples and those sort of things, but the judges don't. They like the technique.
Fast.
Mhm.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So look tonight for the hard technique.
All right. Well, it all looks hard to me, but I defer to my color commentator for that. So
I'll be hitting you up for more insight later
Okay.
on as we
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
closer.
And you can ask your daughter. His
Yes.
daughter Amber is one of my lieutenants, so she's one of the leaders, and she does a great job.
So how many girls are on the squad this year?
This year we have a team of 24, so a little smaller than we've had in the past, which is actually sort of nice.
yeah, that's absolutely amazing. If you've never seen him perform, in fact, we've got last year's footage on our website, iFIBER1.com. You can check out that competition was, I think, last January.
It was in January, I think the 28th or 26th. So
Yeah, and that footage, it's in 3 parts because I think it was an all-day
all-day
affair.
thing.
And, don't forget, you can see Dr. Harder dance in the middle of that thing, too. So.
And this year we have 2 panels of judges, which allows us to have twice as many teams come.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a fun day. We're going to hopefully have about 20 teams here. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be fun.
So it'd be a quicker transition between
Yes,
teams.
because 2 panels, so we won't have that space in between.
Right.
So it allows us to have a lot more routines.
All right.
Yeah.
Lori, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You betcha. And I can't wait to see
Yeah,
the halftime.
absolutely. And Cody, one more thing.
Yeah.
Lori's got a big birthday coming up here.
Oh,
Sunday I turn 50.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
We should throw something up there have our graphics guy, Jason Pattison, throw a happy birthday up if he can. All right, Lori, thank you so much. We're
Appreciate
going to
it.
let
Thank you, Lori.
get back to getting your team ready. And we need to take another commercial break here to thank our sponsors. We're going to come back with Craig Harder here, and we're going to be talking some more pregame football.
For all those who don't know, Broadway Barn Grill, located at 302 West Broadway, is the spot to be every night of the week. Monday through Wednesday night karaoke. Thursday night, ladies, it's all for you. Drink specials and a DJ. Friday night live music, blues, rock to heavy metal. And on Saturday nights, come get down with Big Daddy DJ Live and the official Corona party at Broadway Barn Grill, 302 West Broadway in Moses Lake. Don't forget, we have great food, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Hi, I'm Annette with Grant PUD. Don't let your bill catch you off guard when the weather changes. Sign up for our budget pay program, which will take 12 months of your regular bill and average it so you have one easy to pay amount every month. Ask your CSR at 766-2505 or look us up at www.gcpud.org for more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And welcome back, folks. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER 1 Sports. We're broadcasting live from Lions Field. Moses Lake High School Chiefs football team set to take on the Eastmont Wildcats. And with me doing our color commentary is Dr. Craig Harder with Moses Lake Family Dentistry. This should be a good game.
Should be a very good game and a very important game for the standings here in the Big Nine.
It is. You know, the standings right now, Moses Lake is on top in conference play at 3-0. Eisenhower is at 2-1. Eastmont is at 2-1 with a loss to Eisenhower last weekend. Kind of a surprise.
Yep.
That could have gone either way.
Close game, 2-point game, I believe.
Yeah. And you have to remember that in the Big Nine this year, all these teams play each other twice.
That's right.
So, you know, Moses Lake has the edge, and they're kind of in the driver's seat. And they could pull away a little bit here, but this Eastmont team has already surprised a few people.
They have. You know, they put a whooping on Wenatchee and dominated that game pretty big.
They sure did. And, of course, Wenatchee being their crosstown rival.
Yep.
Actually, that game was here.
That's right.
At Lions Field. I think Wenatchee was a little bit surprised. I don't think anyone thought Eastmont was going to be a pushover, but,
No.
I mean, they're, you know, tied for second place for a good reason.
Right, and both these teams have been a surprise so far. You know, Moses Lake and Eastmont, nobody picked them to be at the top at this point, but they've been playing well, they've been playing smart, and Eastmont's done a great job of getting out to big leads early and then hanging on. Moses Lake has the plan that they're just going to try and weather that early storm tonight and then plan on their conditioning being a little better and outlasting them at the end.
Yeah, in Eastmont they've come out in nearly all of their games and just offensively put up some big numbers in that first half. And, you know, they're having difficulty scoring in that second half.
Right. Yeah, they haven't been putting up much. You know, if Wenatchee hadn't had a couple of guys get hurt in that last game, they might have been able to make a comeback, but they got down early and then they kind of gave up on that game. So Eastmont is tough, and Moses Lake's got to shut them down early.
Now, there was an article that came out in the Wenatchee World a few days ago, and, you know, I mentioned it early in our pregame show that both of these teams have each played 3 times here in Moses Lake and Lions Field with the amount of smoke that they've had in Wenatchee from those wildfires. And, you know, they asked the coach, and I did talk to the coach a little bit ago, and I asked him, you know, does it help that you've been here, you know, playing the last 2 weeks here? And he goes, absolutely. You can get a little bit more familiar with the field and the environment. But unfortunately, in that newspaper article, one of the players happened to state that Lions Field is probably more their home field than Moses Lake's. I don't know the coach was happy about that statement.
I can't imagine.
And I've heard that newspaper article is posted right now in the locker room for Moses Lake.
I heard the quote went something like, "This is our house."
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, this is our
that
house.
should get some boys stirred up a little bit in there.
Yeah, and I talked to Coach Griffiths, and I said, does that fire your guys up a little bit? And he goes, it does a little bit, but he said, we've all our guys that they've played very well and under control this year. We and you and I have seen some penalties.
Yep.
But they seem to be getting better and better with, cutting down on those mistakes every week.
And I talked to the coaches a little bit earlier, Kody, and their big thing when I asked if you change anything, you put any new wrinkles in, they said, no, we're just trying to get better at what we do well. And I think that's a great plan for them. They've got mature kids. They're playing smart. They need to shore up a few of those mistakes, especially on the special teams. Yeah. And if they can do that, I think Moses Lake has a great shot of winning tonight.
All right. Well, it looks like we're ready for the coin toss here. Let's cut away to another commercial break here. Take a moment to thank our sponsors. We're going to be back with Moses Lake High School football in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
And welcome back, folks. We're going to wrap up our pregame show. With me is Dr. Craig Harder doing our color commentary. He's with Moses Lake Family Dentistry. And we're doing our coin toss right now. You're watching iFIBER 1 Sports, and it starts now. And welcome back, folks. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER 1 Sports. With me is Dr. Craig Harder doing our color commentary. We just finished up our national anthem performed by the high school band. That was a pretty good, they did pretty well.
They've pulled it together. They're doing real well.
They've
got a pretty sizable band as well this year.
Not too bad. Moses Lake High School Chiefs set to take on the Eastmont Wildcats, and this is going to be a big game. You heard us talk about it in our pregame show. In the Big Nine standings, once again, Moses Lake is on top, 3-0 in league play. Eisenhower sitting at 2-1. Eastmont also at 2-1, although Eisenhower has the edge over Eastmont with a win last weekend. But remember, each of these teams play each other twice in Big 9 play. So, having a home game against a team is very important. You don't want to lose. If you're playing a team twice, you need to win that one at home.
Yes, exactly. You've got to win these home games and then hope to pick up a few on the road as well. And obviously we want to win all of them as a Moses Lake team, but you darn well got to win these if you're going to win the league.
And this year the Moses Lake offense has performed very well.
They sure have. It's been consistent. Nice change this year. They've been putting a lot of points on the board very consistently. Unfortunately, the defense has been giving up more passing yards than anybody else, and so they need to shut down that Eastmont.
And Eastmont with the kick. It's going to almost go out of bounds. Chiefs will down it at about the 22-yard line.
Colton Thompson was smart to get on that. He followed it well. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but he didn't just give up and expect it to, so he stayed on it and downed it there at the 22.
Yeah, Eastmont, they were all over that. If he wasn't going to touch it, they were willing to pick it up. Now, the Moses Lake offense doing a terrific job running that quarterback option.
Yeah, that spread option's working real well for him this year. Justin Simmons is the perfect candidate for a quarterback back there. He's got great arm strength and also can run at any time.
Yeah, he's been running that offense for, this is his third year as their starting quarterback. Offset backs, option right, he'll pitch it, and he's got some room, a blocker, and they're going to take him down at about the 38-yard line.
Great pitch out to Cameron Law again there, picked up, like I said, about 15. That's what they'll be doing all night, mixing it up. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a little bit right down the middle next to keep that open.
I talked to the Eastmont coach earlier, and I asked him, how do you prepare for this kind of an option? He goes, well, it's a headache. It gives you a headache. And, Eastmont, they haven't been able to practice very much. They've been in the gym. They haven't had a lot of full contact practices the last couple weeks. And this time he'll hand it off up the middle. Eastmont is there, maybe 2 yards.
Big pile of Eastmont defenders there to shut that down. But there you go again, Cameron Law up the middle, keeping that option honest. Again, this is Moses Lake's modus. They've been doing this all year so far. It's been working well.
Moses Lake looking pretty confident coming out here tonight. This is their homecoming. And this time Moses Lake will go with 3 wide receivers to the left. Single back set. Option to the left, and Simmons spins, and he'll pick up 8 or 9 yards on that carry.
Looks like he might be just shy of that first down, but a very nice run. He spun off a couple of good tackles there.
I wonder if sometimes Coach Griffith, when he's doing that, is kind of gritting his teeth a little bit, watching his quarterback acting like a pinball.
Yes,
through the linebackers.
We talked earlier that Moses Lake, the reason they've been doing so well is they've stayed healthy this year.
Yeah.
The last thing they need is for Simmons to get hurt.
And same formation this time. 3 wide receivers lining up on that right side. Option right, and he'll pitch it this time. Eastmont's there, shoestring tackle. That'll be good for the first down.
Nice tackle by Trey Thomas there. He goes both ways. He's one of their best running backs as well. But Moses Lake did just enough to pick up the first down.
Eastmont been doing pretty good with injuries. No one out this year. Their coach said they do have a few bumps and bruises, but they've stayed pretty healthy. But they do have a lot of players going both ways. So, that could be one reason that they're having difficulty in that second half in these games.
Absolutely.
And Simmons to pass to the flat on the left-hand side, and they're going to take him down probably for a 2-yard loss.
Nice play by Blake Holman there. Came up and sniffed that one out. Saw the quick shot to the outside there. Trino Rubio couldn't pick up anything, ended up losing about 3.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be a 3-yard loss. 2nd down and 13 to go. Moses Lake with the ball on their own 46-yard line. Doing pretty good. No penalties so far. And Simmons rolling out to his right. He's hit as he throws. He's got a man wide open. To the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Brett Mosier. That connection has been heating up all year.
He has been a terrific target for Simmons.
Simmons did a fantastic job staying in there. He knew he was going to get creamed by 2 players. They were bringing the heat.
Yeah, boy, we should take a look at that slow motion instant replay on that. Simmons just got hammered, and he hung in there just like you said. Waited for his receiver to get a little distance between him and the defensive back.
Perfect throw under pressure. That was great.
And the Chiefs lining up for their extra point kick. Good snap. Ball's down and blocked. No flags on the play.
There's Trey Thomas came flying in from that outside. He's a good athlete. Moses Lake's got to keep an eye on him tonight.
Yeah, one of their better players. With 9:28 left here in our first quarter, Moses Lake, after having their extra point blocked, they lead 6-0. We're back in just a moment.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
And a squib kick bounces, hits one of the Eastmont players. They're able to keep possession. They're going to start off with some good field position here.
They got a lucky bounce off that. It hit him off his shin, but ended up dying right in front of him, so he was able to get that back. But, you've been seeing that. I was watching the Eastmont kicker warm up earlier, and he's got a heck of a leg, but they also tried that same play right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think that it's something that's going to work often enough. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's homecoming. You gotta try a few. If you're gonna try a few trick plays, homecoming's a good time to do it. And Moses Lake in that 3-3 stack defense. Eastmont man in motion, and the referees will blow the whistle and stop play, and we've got a flag down. That one will go against Eastmont. I believe it's going to be someone lining up offsides. And it'll move the Wildcats back 5 yards. First down and 15 from their own 35.
Looks like he's talking to the quarterback that maybe he was doing some motions that were
Is that what
trying
it was?
to draw the Chiefs off sides there.
Eastmont does look pretty comfortable. I mean, after playing here the last 2 weeks.
Well, they've got some definite weapons. They should be confident.
And quarterback keeper left-hand side. Chiefs are there. They'll wrap him up. Gain of maybe a yard if he made it back at all to the line of scrimmage.
Busted play there. It looked like the quarterback and the running back went the opposite direction, so he was swung it around himself. Trino Rubio came up from his corner spot to make the great tackle.
Boy, that young man has some speed.
He does. He's a quick little guy. I shouldn't call him little. He's a tough man.
Yeah, boy. And, watching him play basketball, too, last year, I mean.
Yep. He's got a lot of heart. He's a feisty kid.
Yeah, he always comes away. He's good for 3 or 4 or 5 steals a game. Yep. They come in bunches. And this time Eastmont will work out of a shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left and to the right. Single back set, and we've got a false start against the Wildcats. That'll move them back another 5 yards. And they'll replay second down. It'll be second down and almost 20 yards.
Second down and 22.
8:32 left here in our first quarter. Moses Lake on top, 6-0. And they're going to stick with that same formation. Working out of that shotgun, and quarterback keeper up the middle. Not a bad gain.
No.
He'll pick up maybe a good 10 yards there.
Brock Graham, he got back almost to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up about 3rd and 12.
Doesn't quite look like Eastmont, a couple quick penalties, and you can hear that home crowd. That's probably got him a little bit nervous tonight. And this time Moses Lake's going to get drawn off sides there. And we see Moses Lake with another penalty.
Yeah, it looked like that left defensive end was trying to get a good jump on things.
Yeah. And folks, I do want to mention this is a change in our program guide that's listed. We've had to reshuffle some games with the wildfires going on. Games have been rescheduled, and it resulted in 3 football games we've had to reschedule in our program guide. Pass in the air, caught by number 23, and they'll take him down at the Moses Lake 32.
Dallin McConnell made a great catch. We've talked about it before. That receiver has to come back to the ball, and he did.
Yeah.
The defensive back kept falling away, waiting for it to come down, and unfortunately got beat. A nice throw by the quarterback, but it was well defended. He just didn't come back to the ball like the receiver did.
Yeah, Moses Lake was there. And, we saw this, the last time we were broadcasting, and as the game progressed, their defensive backs started turning their heads.
Yep.
And did a terrific job defending against that pass, especially in the second half.
They did. They picked off some good
against Davis
ones last week.
Eastmont in the shotgun this time. First down from the Moses Lake 32. Short pass to that flat on the left-hand side. Moses Lake is there. Not much.
Nice tackle by Jonathan Perales there. Came up from his linebacker position.
It looks like they're going to spot it at just about the original line of scrimmage.
The defensive coaches for Moses Lake are very high on their linebacking core. These are veteran kids, been in the program for a while now, and all good, solid players.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Eastmont in the shotgun. And they're going to try and run an option to the right-hand side. He's hit in the backfield as he pitched it to their running back.
Nice
Huge
job
hit.
by Renwill the Cat. They call him the Bear Cat in there. He's had a couple of good games in a row.
That was a huge hit. I heard that one all the way up here.
Yes. Lost a couple on that play. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss of almost 3 yards.
Third down and 13 at the 35-yard line.
That'll push Eastmont back to the Moses Lake 35. Third down and 13 to go. 4 wide receivers on the field for Eastmont. They're going to continue to work out of that shotgun. And he'll drop straight back to pass. Fired it over to the flat on the left-hand side.
Went through the hands of Trenton Osborne there. But Moses Lake had that well defended. It looked like it wasn't going to get much of a gain.
It almost looked like Eastmont was going to try and set up a small wide receiver screen on that side.
It did.
And that'll bring up fourth down. And the Wildcats set up to punt.
Trino Rubio's back to receive.
And punt is away. Nice high punt. Rubio signals fair catch. And they're going to take it into the end zone. Chiefs will start at their own 20. Let's take another quick commercial break. With 5:15 left here in our first quarter, the Chiefs on top, 6-0.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who...
And Moses Lake starting at their own 20. Handoff to the fullback right up the middle.
Cameron Law straight up the middle. You know, Moses Lake is going to do the same thing here. They're just, again, they just want to do the same thing well each time. And that was, they'll, butter up that front line, get them keying there, then they'll start bouncing it outside, and then all of a sudden you'll see Simmons keep it and break another big one.
Yeah, or, they hand it off right up the middle. We've seen some long plays.
And Cameron Law, he's, we call him a fullback, but he is a speedster. He's got definite game speed out there to break away the big ones.
Not a lot of size in the backfield, but a lot of speed. And Simmons is going to get buried this time. Looked like he wanted to try and pitch. Didn't have an option, though.
No, he had that. The Eastmont team had that one sniffed out well. They were had a man out there covering the running back as well. Moses Lake did not block that very well that time.
And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 from their own 21. Simmons doing a pretty good job passing the ball this year, too. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and put another one downfield. Straight drop back pass, Simmons. And he'll hit a receiver on that left-hand side. Boy, he was hit hard.
Yeah, Trino Rubio held on amazingly after a huge hit from the safety coming in. It was a crossing pattern. He was looking back at the ball, and he got depleted.
Boy, he sure did. Slow to get up. And taking his time getting off the field. I don't blame him. And this is what head coach Todd Griffith was talking about. This team is very dangerous in the first half.
Yep.
And Moses Lake set up to punt.
Little confusion as they bring Rubio out and a substitute in for him. Looks like they've had to call timeout.
Yeah. And Moses Lake will take the timeout. 3:08 left here in our first quarter. Moses Lake on top, 6-0. We're back in just a moment.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
And welcome back, folks. Chiefs with a timeout there. Had to bring in a substitution to set up for their punt. And I don't know, did you see how he was doing?
You know, he looks like he's going to be all right here soon, but he needed to clear the cobwebs, and he wanted to stay in, but the coaches thought better of that.
Yeah. And Baker set to punt, almost blocked, maybe partially blocked. Flag is down.
They took him out. It'll be interesting to see if they call that it was tipped ball or not.
That's got to be a roughing the kicker penalty if I was a betting man. And officials are talking it over. That would give Moses Lake a first down. No, it looks like they're talking with the Eastmont captain. That looks like that may go against Moses Lake.
Might have been a hold on that heavy rush that Eastmont sent there.
Penalty is declined, and it was against Moses Lake. Eastmont will take the ball at the Moses Lake 25. And again, Eastmont with some good field position. We've seen the Chiefs' defense tighten their chin straps, and
they have, definitely. As they've gotten into the red zone, the Chiefs have made some great stops in important times.
Yeah, this isn't the first time that the defense has been put in a position like this year. Eastmont in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers on the right side, 1 to the left, handoff, and that'll be good for almost 10 yards.
Darren Hardgrove there up the middle. He's league-leading running back this year, and you can see why. He's got some size and definite speed there.
Yeah, he is a force, and that will be good for an Eastmont first down. It'll be first down from the Moses Lake 15. Chiefs a little bit late getting out of the huddle there. And Eastmont will start with their quarterback under center this time. Man in motion. And again, hand off to the big man. And that'll be good for another 7 yards, looks like.
Yeah, again, Hardgrove, just some hard, straight-ahead running. This Eastmont front line is not a small one. They've got, looks like they're averaging about 220 across the front there. And they're getting some openings.
Now remember, this Eastmont team, they've been able to put up some good numbers in the first half. And they are looking good here. Eastmont in the shotgun. They brought out 4 wide receivers. Man in motion. And quarterback keeper faked the reverse. And he'll pick up a couple yards.
Yeah. Brock Graham's kind of ran into a wall there. It was interesting. It looked like the handoff or the end around there would have been open pretty good. But
did.
They had it designed for him all the way. But the penalty is against Moses Lake.
And did I catch that? Face mask is the call?
Yep, automatic first down.
That'll be half the distance of the goal. First down from about the 3-yard line.
First the goal for the Wildcats at the 3-yard line.
We're inside 2 minutes now here in our first quarter. Moses Lake on top, 6-0. Eastmont threatening at the Moses Lake 3-yard line. They've got a first down after that face mask penalty against the Chiefs. And handoff to the big man right up the middle again, and they're going to signal touchdown.
He barely got across there. It looked like Hector Zavala had made the tackle in the backfield, but again, Eastmont running back is very strong. He kept on chugging ahead, sneaked across the line.
Yeah, I can see how he's done well this season.
Yep.
Defenders bouncing off him. And the Wildcats set up for their extra point. This could put them in the lead. And kick is good. 1:27 left here in our first quarter. Eastmont takes the lead 7-6 over the Moses Lake High School Chiefs. We're back in just a second, folks. Stay with us.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
For all those who don't know, Broadway Barn Grill, located at 302 West Broadway, is the spot to be every night of the week. Monday through Wednesday night karaoke. Thursday night ladies, it's all for you. Drink specials and a DJ. Friday night live music, blues, rock to heavy metal. And on Saturday nights, come get down with Big Daddy DJ Live and the official Corona party at Broadway Barn Grill, 302 West Broadway in Moses Lake. Don't forget, we have great food, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And welcome back. Eastmont has just taken the lead. Kind of helped out with some Moses Lake penalties in this last drive. Eastmont on top, 7-6. Moses Lake had their extra point blocked. And Eastmont with the kickoff. Squib kick. It hits the turf, but the Chiefs are there to cover it up. And they'll start from about their own 31-yard line.
Hector Zavala was looking forward to that return there, but he couldn't quite bring the grasp of that ball in.
Well, you know, it's homecoming. You got the kickoff come right to you. I mean, that, you know.
It doesn't happen often when you're one of the up men.
You know, I told you when I played football I was very, very small. I'll come back to that story in just a second. And Moses Lake set up offset backs again. And quarterback option, right-hand side, pitches it to the running back, and he's going to pick up maybe 11, 12 yards.
Well-run option there. Simmons gave it enough time that the linebacker had to come up on him and try and make a tackle there, and so he pitched it out to Rubio, who turned it up straight ahead.
Anyway, you remember I was telling you when I was a freshman, I weighed in at about 98 pounds, and I was probably barely over 5 feet tall. But on the kickoffs, I played up front. I wasn't back deep, but every single time it would come to me, I swear, I just get killed. And Moses Lake, first down and 10. Handoff up the middle. No, yeah,
Rubio up the middle again that time. Looks like he's shaking off those cobwebs from the big hit he took earlier.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. Second down and about 8 yards to go. Got about 45 seconds left here in our first quarter. Eastmont on top, 7-6. Eastmont got a lot of players, remember, playing both ways. Simmons rolling out to his right, looking for some help, and he'll kind of toss that out of bounds.
He wanted Ballard over there, but they had him double covered. They had a man underneath of him, man one deep, and he couldn't quite find the hole in between.
You and I have been talking a lot about this this year. Simmons making some great decisions.
Yep. That was a very wise decision there. He threw it to where maybe the receiver could get it, but nobody else could there after denied the first try at it.
That's going to bring up third down and 8 to go. And the Chiefs, they've got 3 wide receivers set to the left. Single back. Play action pass. Simmons fires one down, and I think he expected his receiver to continue downfield. Had a man there.
He did. He had Mosier again over the middle. He had 2 to the left going on fly routes, but it looked like Mosier might have turned or hitched it up a little bit when Simmons thought it was going long.
It's kind of starting to look like Eastmont is creeping up a little bit more.
The momentum has definitely swung here. Again, we talked earlier that Moses Lake needs to weather this storm, keep it here, not allow them to score in that next short drive, hopefully.
Well, hopefully with this punt, they can put Eastmont back in their own territory to start. They're punting from their own 46. Punt is away. Nice high punt. And it'll hit at the 30, bounce back, goes all the way inside the 15. And down to about the 12, Craig.
You can see why Easton Baker was leading the league in punting average for a while. He gets some good lucky rolls there. Makes up for the 5-yarder, and a little bit ago they got tipped, I guess.
Not a lot you can do when you've got hands on on the punt before it even gets past the line of scrimmage. But, yeah, he has done a great job punting, and we've seen him boot some long punts this year.
He has.
And just 5 seconds left here in our first quarter. Eastmont 7, Moses Lake 6. Eastmont working out of the shotgun here. And looks like it's going to be a fake handoff. Quarterback keeper. That'll be good for a couple yards.
Kody, Eastmont likes to run the quarterback counter or quarterback sweep around the end there, and that's what they did. They pull the center, comes over, and leads the way for the blocking around the end. Moses Lake's plan to stop that tonight is going to be just to try and fire off the ball with the nose guard and get some movement off the line to plug that up.
All right, that'll bring the end to our first quarter here. Eastmont Wildcats 7, Moses Lake Chiefs 6. We're back in just a moment, folks.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
And we're just about ready to start our second quarter here at Lions Field. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER One Sports with Dr. Craig Harder of Moses Lake Family Dentistry doing our color commentary for us. Eastmont, second down and about 7 to go from their own 15-yard line. Eastmont in the shotgun. Handoff. Left-hand side, and the Chiefs are there. I think they're going to be a little bit short.
Yeah. Trey Thomas came from the split wide position there. Made a nice run. Had some good lead blocking, too.
Yeah, Eastmont doing a very good job with that their offensive line so far.
Yes.
It's going to be third down and a short 2 yards to go from about their own 20-yard line. I think I would call that a long one rather than two.
Yes.
Eastmont in the shotgun again, man in motion. And handoff to the big running back, and he will pick up the first down. He'll take it down to the 30-yard line.
Pretty simple. Darren Hardgrove again off that left side.
Yeah, you know, if it works, I guess you just keep doing it.
There's a reason why they've already got 1,000 yards rushing this season, and he's got about 800 of it, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Eastmont with a first down at their own 30-yard line. And Chiefs are working out of that 3-3 stack defense. And handoff looks running back pass. And he's got a man downfield just off his fingertips. Halfback pass. It did fool the secondary of Moses Lake.
The safety bid on the play came up, and he had to scramble to catch up and was lucky that it was overthrown just out of the outstretched fingertips there of number 23, Dallin McConnell.
Boy, he turned on the speed there once that ball was in the air. I thought he might bring it down. Second down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats at their own 30-yard line. They lead 7-6 here in the second quarter. Eastmont in the shotgun again. Wide receiver in motion. And again, handoff to the big man. And he breaks a few tackles. Chiefs finally able to drag him down at the 50-yard line.
Ben Kroll had to come over from the opposite side corner position to make the tackle after he'd broken through that first line of defense.
That's not the kind of running back you're going to arm tackle.
No.
And looks like they're going to spot it at the Eastmont 49-yard line. Eastmont doing a pretty good job moving the ball so far. And this time they'll set 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, straight draw back, pass, and ball caught at about the 45-yard line of Moses Lake.
Trenton Osborne for Eastmont made the nice catch.
That's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 to go.
2nd down and 4 at the Chiefs' 45-yard line.
Eastmont likes to run that trip set, and Moses Lake's plan has been to try and jam those outside receivers by the linebacker, but they didn't come up on them that time and let it get out there.
Yep. And wide receiver in motion, and Eastmont will pick up the false start. That'll move them back 5 yards. They'll replay 2nd down from about the 50. It'll be 2nd down and about 9 to go. And Eastmont with trips left this time. Wide receiver in motion to the right. Fumble on the play. Moses Lake says they've got it.
I couldn't see who came up with that. It looked like
I didn't either.
Maybe Jacob Stout had. He was in on the play, I saw, and just a poor exchange between the runner and quarterback.
And Moses Lake fired up again here. They'll start at the 50-yard line.
Well, so far things are truly working according to what Moses Lake wanted. They're keeping it low scoring, keeping things in touch right now, just down 1. There they get the turnover and kind of the bend but don't break type of idea.
Yeah, and, their defense has done pretty well. I mean, there's a few defensive penalties that helped out on that scoring drive. Ball on the ground again. Oh. And Eastmont says they've recovered it. And they have. So
Jalen McDonald gets the turnover after Trino Rubio gets it stripped right out of his hand.
So we've got 2 straight fumbles.
Guess that's a different way to get a first down.
Yeah. Eastmont will have the ball in Moses Lake territory at about the 47-yard line. And Wildcats working out of a shotgun. Again with the wide receiver in motion from the right to the left. Flag is down, and he's got a receiver. Moses Lake, number 2 defensive back, comes in and just knocks the ball away.
Ben Kroll made a real nice play on the ball there from a very long pass.
Boy, showing some speed there too, catching up to that wide receiver. That'll bring up, we got a penalty on the play. I'm thinking it. Oh. Illegal motion against Eastmont. It'll be 1st down and 15. Eastmont has been moved back to their own 49-yard line. A lot of penalties so far. And Eastmont with a handoff right up the middle. Tears off a huge chunk of yardage there.
Once again, Darren Hardgrove makes his own work there. He got through that first line and then busted about 3 tackles. Picked up a good 10 yards.
Showing some good speed for such a big man.
He does.
And that'll bring up a second down and only 4 to go. And they're back in Moses Lake territory at the 40-yard line. Eastmont in the shotgun, handoff again right up the middle. And that'll move the chains again. Pickup of about 7.
Reese Levitt nearly had him in the backfield, but Hardgrove just did a little stutter step, let him slip by, and then scored it up for a good 6-8 yards there.
And it looks like they're going to spot it at the 34. Pickup of about 5 on that carry. Anyway, folks, if you haven't heard, our program guide has changed with some shifting in football games. You Ephrata fans out there, don't worry. We got a lot of Ephrata football coming here in the second half of our football season. Handoff right up the middle. Hits the referee.
Nice tackle by the ref. He stayed up. The running back went down.
I think that ref prevented, he probably cut that run short just a little bit.
A touchdown saving block there by the referee. But not until he picked up at least 9.
Yeah. You're right. Second down and about 9 to go. I'm sorry, second down, about 1 to go.
Looks like we need to get those referees outfitted with mouth guards as well.
Yeah, no kidding. $7:15 left here in our second quarter. Eastmont in Moses Lake territory at the 25. Pump fake, and he delivers. That'll be another first down. Passes caught by 51, I want to say.
Was a nice catch after an initial high pass, and Colton Kelly was in on the tackle to knock him off his feet. He came down hard, but held the ball.
That'll be a pickup of 11 yards. First down from the Moses Lake 14. And Eastmont in the shotgun again. And quarterback keeper, and he hits a wall of maroon and gold. And they'll drop him for a loss of maybe 1 or 2, I think.
Nice tackle there by Oscar Velasquez. Looked like Moses Lake almost knew what that play was. They're coming in with just the quarterback in the backfield, no running backs with him.
Yeah, you think maybe there's a chief in that Eastmont huddle on that play. But, you know, we talked about earlier, they've a lot of times they've had that bend but don't break kind of mentality.
Yep.
And they're going to need that now. Second down and 13 to go from the Moses Lake 17, and Eastmont will be called for another false start. That'll move back 5 more yards. Second down and 18 to go from the Moses Lake 22. Anyway, our program guide has changed, and we have began to update that, and you'll start to see that for our TV customers. Your guide on your TV you'll start to see these updates. At Wildfire, it was amazing how many football games that affected.
Mm-hmm. All the way down into Yakima and the Tri-Cities.
And the Chiefs are there. Handoff looked like they didn't pick up anything on that.
No, Colton Rose broke that up real well. He's big man there. It's 6'2", 205.
Third down, and about 20 yards to go. Eastmont at the Moses Lake 25-yard line. Eastmont with 5 wide receivers this time. Straight drop back pass, setting up a screen to the left-hand side there. And they'll tackle him as he crosses the Moses Lake 20. Eastmont trying to get, just pick up a few yards, maybe set up a field goal here.
Hector Zavala read that well, got into the middle of that block setup for the screen and made him run it more to the outside.
You're right. He was right there. I don't know how he squeezed through that.
He pushed through 3 different guys there, it looked like. That was pretty well done.
And that's pretty much the way you break a screen like that. Eastmont with the field goal attempt. Going to be about a 37-yarder. Ball's down, and kick is away. Looks like it's going to be wide, and it is. I don't know if it had the distance either, Craig.
Flag on the play, though. It looks like a running into the kicker penalty.
And penalties coming back to bite the Chiefs again here. We'll see what the officials say. I don't know what else it could be, Craig.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It was dropped right in that area, and the defense has come back out here.
Both kickers have taken a beating so far. We have had a blocked kick, partially blocked punt, 2 roughing the kicker calls. And Eastmont will get another shot at it. That'll move them up to the Moses Lake 15. Be 4th down and about 12 yards to go.
Should put him back in his distance here, but last one he did push off to the right.
This will be a 31-yard field goal attempt. Snap is good, hold is good, and kick is away, this time right up the middle. And with 4 minutes left in our second quarter, Eastmont builds its lead. They're on top, 10-6 over the Moses Lake Chiefs. We're back in just a moment, folks. Stay with us.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
For all those who don't know, Broadway Bar and Grill, located at 302 West Broadway, is the spot to be every night of the week. Monday through Wednesday night karaoke. Thursday night, ladies, it's all for you. Drink specials and a DJ. Friday night live music, blues, rock to heavy metal. And on Saturday nights, come get down with Big Daddy DJ Live and the official Corona party at Broadway Bar and Grill, 302 West Broadway in Moses Lake. Don't forget, we have great food, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And Eastmont set to kick off here in our second quarter. Squib kick. Moses Lake covers it, and they'll advance it to about the 42-yard line.
Cameron Law did a nice job covering that one. They looks like they switched up some guys, and knowing that they were going to try that, they moved a couple of good hands guys up into that middle row.
And that was the right thing to do. Chiefs will have good field position. We're under 4 minutes now here in our second quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 10-6.
And we haven't seen a lot of running out of Justin Simmons yet. I wouldn't be surprised on this drive that he starts to open it up a little bit more and take some senior leadership here.
Yeah, but we've seen him with some long runs this year too. Handoff right up the middle, and I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
No, Cameron Law on the carry, but that was well defended. Corey Minot for Eastmont on the main part of the tackle there.
Looks like he's going to get a good spot here. He'll pick up maybe 1 yard. Second down and 9. Chiefs at their own 43. Now it's about time. Moses Lake with a huge gain here is what we've seen in the past. Simmons with the pass, caught. No. They're going to say it was stripped. He didn't have possession as he went out of bounds.
Well defended by Trey Thomas there. Again, he goes both ways and primarily known for his defensive back prowess back there, and he did a nice job with that.
Boy, Simmons, he threaded the needle on that
He did.
pass.
It was a heck of a throw. Great play all around by both teams.
Chiefs looking at 3rd down and 9 to go. We've got 3 minutes, 12 seconds left here in our second quarter. And this time Eastmont with the blitz. They picked it up. Passes downfield just off the fingertips of his intended receiver.
Nick Sutherland just a little bit too high for him there coming on the post route.
And the Chiefs with 4th down, 9 to go. And it looks like they'll bring in their punt unit.
Kicking for the Chiefs, Easton Baker. Deep for the Wildcats.
Boy, still a lot of time on the clock, Craig.
That's what I was just seeing, too. That didn't take off near enough time here at the end of the quarter.
Baker's set to punt for the Chiefs. Good snap. Punt is away. Nice high punt, deep. And Eastmont with the fair catch at about their own 22-yard line.
Another nice punt by Easton Baker. You know, he's got a real good foot. He's maybe not always consistent, but boy, when he lays into him like he did there, he can easily hit 40 every time.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you know, this year he's had a couple good bounces, too. What did we see? We had almost a 50-yard punt.
I was going to say, it was close to 60. It was 55, something like that. Yep. If he can get a little bit quicker with his release, you know, he's given him enough time that good hard rush, they might be able to sneak in and block another one.
Eastmont takes over at their own 22-yard line. 3:01 left here in our second quarter. And handoff. And Eastmont picking up 9 yards on the ground there. Boy, they're not running. They're just running right between the guards.
Just a straightforward, hard running play. Hardgrove, again, slipped a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Moses Lake, their front line is getting through, but the linebackers are getting held up.
2nd down, 4 yards to go. Eastmont at their own 28. Eastmont straight drop back pass. He'll flip it off to the flat on the right-hand side, and he's going to pick up some yards after the catch. And that'll be good enough for a 1st down.
Just a nice quick swing to Hardgrove again. You know, he's got you this far. Might as well keep running him.
And the run after the catch, they'll spot the ball at the 40.
Yep. He had some great blocking up front on that as well.
We're closing in on the 2-minute mark here. Eastmont with the lead, 10-6. Eastmont at their own 40-yard line. And pass down the middle, and boy, the Chiefs had a chance to pick that off.
They did. 2 guys went for it there, Cameron Law and Colton Kelly. They kind of bumped into each other, or one of them might have had that. But it was a little bit high, and he was trying to zip that in. They ran that trip set again out to the right, and Moses Lake played that well.
They did. You know, we've seen the secondary continue to improve as the games have progressed, especially against Davis.
Yes.
Last Saturday. Minute 48. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. An incomplete pass. Boy,
It was
Chiefs.
close to being a lateral there, and both teams thought it might have been, so they stayed after it.
Yeah, boy, Chiefs were in the backfield that time.
Looked like they might have been having a outside linebacker stunt coming up, and he sniffed out that screen out to the outside. Stayed home.
3rd down, 10 yards to go. Looks like our MLHS are warming up over there. Third down, 10 from their own 40-yard line. Eastmont has brought out 4 wide receivers. They'll hand it off this time right up the gut. That'll be a gain of about 9.
You almost wonder why they get away from Hardgrove. He's gaining them big chunks every time.
Boy, he sure is.
Brings up 4th down.
4th down and about 2 yards to go. Looks like Eastmont's going to set up to punt. Clock is still running. We're down to about 1:14. And good snap. Punt is away. Nice high punt. It hits at about the 25-yard line. And Moses Lake takes an Eastmont bounce down to about the Moses Lake 8-yard line.
Similar to Easton Baker's punt there. Another pretty decent punt, 30-35 yards, but then got the big roll.
I think when you're talking field position, I think you got to give the edge to Eastmont so far.
Absolutely. They've been playing mostly on the short side of the field on their drives to score, and Moses Lake, is outside of that first drive, hasn't had anything good to start with.
51 seconds left here in our second quarter. Moses Lake from their own 8-yard line. And handoff up the middle. And he'll pick up the first down, or very close to it.
Yeah.
And Cameron Loss slow to get up. Maybe he was just tangled up.
He was tangled up with the tackler there, number 7 for Eastmont.
2nd down, 1 yard to go. Clock still running, 24 seconds left. And Simmons will keep it this time. Tries to follow his running back. He'll pick up the first.
Looked like he, in the fake handoff there, nearly lost control of that ball, and so he couldn't get his good start on the run. He had an opening there, but it closed up quickly. I think Moses Lake's going to be content to run out the clock here after 3 starts.
We're down to 5 seconds. They really don't have to run another play, and it looks like they will be content to let the clock run out. At halftime, at homecoming here at Lions Field, Eastmont will go in to the locker room with a 10-6 lead over the Moses Lake Chiefs. Chiefs had an extra point blocked, which is why we have a 4-point lead here in our game. Let's take a quick 30-second commercial break, because I think we're going to have our MLHS come out for our halftime performance. Stay with us, folks.
Hi, I'm Annette with Grant PUD. Don't let your bill catch you off guard when the weather changes. Sign up for our budget pay program, which will take 12 months of your regular bill and average it so you have one easy-to-pay amount every month. Ask your CSR at 766-2505 or look us up at www.gcpud.org for more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And welcome back. Craig, you were just pointing, your daughter is in the front there?
Yes, Amber Frakes, she's the third gal out there. One of the shorter blonde ones there.
Boy, you know, the uniforms, I bet you could see these from space.
I think so, even through the smoky fog. And
boy, they look sharp. Now, if you didn't catch their performance earlier in the year, I mean, it was like watching fireworks pop. And this is going to be their competition number.
It's a routine that they'll be perfecting and making some changes as the competition season comes up, but a good start to it here.
Boy, they are in sync.
It's always interesting to see how they form into different lines like that.
They have more precision than any football or basketball team I've ever seen.
That's right. Kick line's always a favorite.
Yeah. They always manage to get the kick line in. Wow, this is a long number, too.
It is. And it will be longer when it gets to competition as well.
And there you have it, your defending national champion MLHS, the Moses Lake High School drill team.
You know, Cody, earlier today they had the Harry Hyettes, which was actually seniors off the football team performed for the pep assembly. Now,
I doubt it was better than what we just saw there.
It wasn't nearly as polished or as sharp, and as Lori Baker said, she was a little worried that a couple of them might have pulled something in practice.
All right. Well, we're at halftime here. We got homecoming here from Moses Lake. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER One Sports. Want to take a quick second here and thank our crew. We've got our news director. He's come down to help run camera for this special event, Bill Stevenson, and Robert Ryder on our other camera. And we've got Jason Pattison doing some graphics for us back in our studio, and Kelly Ryan, our director. And with me doing color commentary, Dr. Craig Harder, Moses Lake Family Dentistry. And here comes your homecoming royalty. Boys, the stands are nearly full tonight.
Yeah, always a big night, and as we said, we were talking about a little bit earlier that winning team tends to bring out a few more people excited about how the Chiefs are doing this year.
Yo, you bet. This year, I've seen a lot of good turnouts at all their home games.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the field here now doesn't work real well to do the parade of cars that they used to do with them.
Yeah.
And before they remodeled the stadium, they had them on the track here. It was kind of fun to see them all come out in the convertibles and all.
Yeah, yeah. So when did your daughter start doing drill team? I mean, is this something that she had an interest in early on, or?
You know, she has since she was very small. She started dancing when she was about 2 years old with a different studio in town, and then moved to Today's Generation Studio, which is a competition group. And so she's been dancing for many years, and since she was 5, 6 years old and got to see what the MLHS were all about, she's been wanting to do it. So it was always a goal, and neat to see her be able to move up through it and become a lieutenant, and hopefully next year a captain. And
yeah, that's now she's a junior this year.
She is a junior, and what you always hope for as a parent is the great part of learning to get some maturity, hard work ethic, and they definitely are teaching that.
Boy, I tell you what, yeah, talk about hard work. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I don't think I could have made it through that first about 30 seconds of that routine they just did.
Yeah. No, I hear you there.
I see Coach Griffith's daughter, Carly, is part of the homecoming royalty.
Craig, you've got some good eyes. I'm having a hard time pick out. Of course, we're looking at the back of them too.
Yeah,
but
and Coach Griffith's not too tough to pick out.
No.
So that one's a little bit easier for me, but.
We have Marlon Rodriguez, daughter of Maria Clemente, walking with Jacob Wells, son of Stephen and Jackie Wells.
A little change I understand this year as well is that they're only doing a senior class. They no longer do the freshman, sophomore, and junior class princesses and all. It's just the seniors, which is kind of neat.
Wow.
That they add more kids into that.
Yeah, that senior class.
Senior class. So.
You bet. Well, you only go around one time.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's right. Don't say that. I've got 3 young kids. You're going to jinx me. I can't remember what movie that a sports movie. Oh, I'm going to say about 7, 8 years ago, that one kid saying, "You need to listen to me. I've been going to this high school now for 7 years."
You're all ready? Okay. And our second runner-up for homecoming princes, Prince and Princess, Tanner Montgomery and Haley Griffith.
Tanner Montgomery and Haley Griffith.
Our first runner-up for homecoming prince and princess, Lee Ransom and Brianna Valdez.
Your runner-up, I didn't catch that. Craig, did you?
Lee Ransom and Brianna Valdez, I believe they said, for the runner-up.
And finally, Moses Lake High School homecoming 2011 King and Queen are Jacob Wells and McKenna Reese. Congratulations to our nominees. Let's give them a big hand.
And there's your Moses Lake homecoming royalty. You know, before we go to a commercial break, I forgot to tell you, and I should have mentioned this when we had Lori up here, but, you know, in the springtime, they've got that adult football team. We might have 2 adult football teams coming up here in the spring, but the Columbia Basin Riverhawks have had an eye on the MLHS, and I think they're going to ask them to come out and perform at their home games.
That'd be great. I know that as long as it fits in their schedule, they will appreciate getting to do some extra shows.
You know, it's too bad. I said earlier that they don't get a chance to perform, you know, in front of the crowds more often. All right, we got about 4 minutes left here until we start our third quarter. Let's go ahead and take a little bit longer break so we can thank our sponsors. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER One Sports. With me is Dr. Craig Harder, Moses Lake Family Dentistry. We're going to be back in just a bit, folks.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
For all those who don't know, Broadway Bar and Grill, located at 302 West Broadway, is the spot to be every night of the week. Monday through Wednesday night karaoke, Thursday night ladies, it's all for you. Drink specials and a DJ. Friday night live music, blues, rock to heavy metal, and on Saturday nights, come get down with Big Daddy DJ Live and the official Corona party at Broadway Bar and Grill, 302 West Broadway in Moses Lake. Don't forget, we have great food, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And welcome back, folks. MLHS out there to help the Chiefs football team back out onto the field. If you missed that performance, folks, don't worry. And Craig, I forgot to tell you this too. This is one of the new things we're doing with our lineup. As soon as we're done broadcasting, you can go home, turn on your TV, or if you want to watch on your phone or off the internet. We're going to rebroadcast the game 30 minutes as soon as the game's over. So you got 30 minutes when we're done, and we'll restart that pregame show.
That's great.
So, yeah.
That'll be real nice for the players and those who might be performing during the game to get home and be able to catch it themselves.
You bet. I couldn't even imagine, when you and I are playing football. I mean.
We were lucky to catch the black and white that maybe could make out the uniform number.
Yeah.
And had been taped over 10 to 12 times already.
We've got 2:45 left here at halftime. Eastmont with the lead 10-6. And Craig, the Chiefs have done pretty well. They've held Eastmont to just 10 points.
They have. I think they've done what they intended to do in that first half. Of course, they'd like to have put some more points up on the board, but they held Eastmont to a score that they feel is manageable. And now, knowing that a lot of those Eastmont guys are going both ways, they're hoping they'll be tired, and Moses Lake can push through in the second half.
Yeah, Todd Griffith, he does a good job coaching in that sense. Not trying to win the game in the first quarter. And of course he's got a lot of confidence in this team, both offensively and defensively too.
Yep.
I mean, Eastmont probably wouldn't have had that 7 points, helped out by a couple penalties. But we've seen that the Chiefs stand their ground defending on their own 1 yard line.
Absolutely. They've buckled down. They've made a good showing on defense. They've got a couple of turnovers. Really, the Eastmont quarterback comes into the game being very efficient, 13 of 15 last week against Wenatchee. And Moses Lake has done a real fine job of shutting him down so far. But that running attack with Hardgrove has not been stoppable so far.
Yeah, he has probably done the most damage so far. While we got some time, Craig, if you don't mind, I'd like you to talk about your mouth guard program, because it's come so far since the days you and I were playing, and it's changed. I mean,
has.
It really has changed.
Yep, we know a lot more about the science behind it anymore, and we know that there needs to be a specific thickness for the mouth guards to be effective. And that thickness over time is going to go away, especially with the boil and bites where the kids are chewing through them all the time. And so we need parents and coaches always checking to see how their players are doing with the mouth guards, making sure that there's still coverage over those molars. And then within our Grant County, the Grant County Dental Society has a grant that was given to them that we provide mouth guards to anybody who wants one for a $10 to $20 fee, depending on if you want special colors and things. But the custom fitted mouth guards are going to do much better for prevention of injuries, prevention of concussions.
Yeah, and I can tell you as a former player, a former coach, and I didn't tell you this, I was a referee also. You know, you get the chance like this to get a mouth guard fitted for your kids, whether they're playing football or soccer or even basketball.
Yep. Yeah, we've been over that a little bit. Basketball is one of the most common sports for tooth injuries, and we're really pushing hard for the schools to get involved and try and encourage getting mouth guards to the players. If the NBA has been able to force their players to do it this last year, then definitely I think we need it in our high school and junior high.
Yeah, you know, and to get these mouth guards fitted properly, like you can get down there at Moses Lake Family Dentistry, you know, you're going to end up paying $7 to $10 to maybe $15 if you're going to just buy one off the shelf.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, you can't beat the price that we're giving there. And it's simply a way that we're all giving back to the community, trying to make sure that we've got healthy smiles coming through town.
Yep. Now, Dr. Harder and I were lucky when we were playing football. Because we could get away with doing the boil and bite things because they hadn't invented concussions quite yet. But, yeah, you want to get those fitted, folks. And to start our third quarter, Moses Lake will kick off. Folks, don't forget, we're going to turn around and rebroadcast this game. 30 minutes after we're done with our post-game wrap-up. And Baker with the kick down to the 10, bounces once. Eastmont taken down hard at about the 16-yard line.
Brian Burt with the return, but a great tackle by Renwill Bicat. Came down, made the single shoestring tackle there. Nicely done.
Nice wrap up.
Now you see him down there on the field, and he's not a big kid, but boy, he plays with a lot of heart, a lot of speed, goes after it out in there.
Eastmont will start at their own 18-yard line. We've just started our third quarter down here at Lions Field. Eastmont on top, 10-6. Handoff right up the middle. This time the Chiefs are there. They're still going to pick up a couple, maybe 2-3.
Still ends up getting some yardage, but the linebackers read that well, slipped the lead blocker off, and made a good tackle.
And that will be good for 3 yards. Eastmont looking at second down, 7 to go. Eastmont with a wide receiver in motion. And another handoff right up the gut.
Well played there by Jonathan Morales again. And also, got to give it up to number 91, Reese Levitt. He is playing from that nose tackle position really well tonight. He's clogging up some things. You know, we knew that they were going to be trying to fire off on that center to disrupt the blocking pattern that they have been successful with.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of three-man fronts.
No.
You've got to have some talent at that nose
Yep.
tackle position to be able to do that. Third down, 4 yards to go. From their own 29, Eastmont looking to pass, and pass is caught. Boy, almost offensive pass interference.
Yeah, it sure looked like it was a pickoff play there. And
yeah.
That time with the three-man set out to the side there, Moses Lake did a good job of jamming the initial receivers, but they had to fade back as the time went, and he was able to throw to the underneath man.
That will move the chains. Eastmont with a first down at their own 32. Eastmont in the shotgun this time. Straight drop back pass. He's looking deep. Fires it deep along the right-hand side. No penalty on the play.
Could have easily been called for offensive pass interference there.
It looked like he pulled the defensive back down.
Yeah, Killum McGinnis overran the play and then pulled down number 24 for Moses Lake so that he couldn't make the grab. Short throw on it as well. So,
you know, big news in the NFL. We got the officials back.
Yes. So
Monday Night Football, I think, is what finally did it in.
It did. So we'll probably get a few more referees back into the Big Nine now.
Yeah. We hope so. Second down, 10 yards to go. Fake handoff, quarterback keeper. He's going to try and take it up the middle, and the Chiefs are there. He'll pick up maybe 3 yards.
Boy, Hector Zavala came flying in through there and got a block in the back that just barely sent him off to not be able to make the call or make the play.
And they'll spot it at about the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 2. Third down and 8. And Eastmont, they'll split 3 wide receivers to the left this time. Straight drop back pass. They'll dump it off to the running back in the flat. He's got some room, picked up a block or 2. And that's going to be good for maybe 16 yards.
They set up that little swing pass pretty well. Moses Lake overran it a little bit trying to make that initial stop, and so he was able to pick up plenty of yardage.
Yeah, picked up a couple good blocks from those wide receivers. And Eastmont with a first down at the 50-yard line. And wide receiver in motion to the right. And Eastmont probably got away with a false start. Nope, I see a flag down.
Did drop it. Looked like the wide receiver took off just a little bit early. He saw that he was going to have to make a block on a kid that was coming up already.
That would have been a gain of about 8 yards.
Yep.
Eastmont still tearing off huge chunks of yardage on the ground.
They mix up their running game pretty well between the quarterback and Hardgrove.
And that'll move Eastmont back 5 yards. And they'll replay first down, this time from their own 45.
Did you enjoy being a referee?
I did. I did some volunteer reffing for the Boys and Girls Club over when I was on the west side. And not only was I a ref, I was the head referee, so I got to hear all the complaints. I didn't miss a one. Actually, the parents were really good. This time, quick pass to the right-hand side, and I think the Chiefs are going to get called for a late hit out of bounds.
Trey Thomas on a nice quick run around the end. Chiefs held them up short, but penalty yards ought to put it over for the top for a first down.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, we talked about penalties last time when they played Davis.
Yep.
You know, some unnecessary penalties helped keep Davis a little closer than what I think Coach Griffith would have wanted.
Yeah, last game, Coach sat a couple of guys there in the fourth quarter after they got a little bit too chippy and made some dumb mistakes like that.
That'll add 15 yards to the end of that play. And Eastmont with a first down at the Chiefs' 26-yard line. Wide receiver in motion to the left. Handoff behind the right guard. He'll pick up maybe 3.
Nice job by Jacob Stout closing down the line.
Yeah, Seahawks were beneficiaries of replacement refs on Monday night there.
Boy, that was a crazy game. You couldn't have had a better perfect storm for the referees to be able to get their jobs back.
Yeah. Boy, they got that deal done pretty quick after that, didn't they?
You know, earlier in the season, they'd been talking about how it'd take 2 or 3 weeks before they would come back after a deal. Instead, it was 2 days.
Yeah. Eastmont, second down and 7. Straight drop back pass. He's going to fire it to his wide receiver on the left-hand side. And that will be enough to pick up the first down.
Nice catch by Killen McGinnis. Just ran a 10-yard hitch route there.
Eastmont at the Moses Lake 14.
Well, just when it looked like their drive was stalled and they get that personal foul penalty.
And we're just about to hit the 7-minute mark here in our third quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 10-6. They've got a first down at the Moses Lake 14. And Chief in the backfield misses the quarterback, and he's going to dive for the corner of the end zone. And officials indicate touchdown, Eastmont.
Boy, they had 2 guys that nearly had him, but he made a great leap for the corner of the end zone, took out the pylon, and they give it to him.
Yeah, and things have just turned to, I would say, a little bit more serious here for the Moses Lake Chiefs. And Eastmont set for their extra point. Good hold, kick right up the middle. Eastmont goes up 17-6 over the Moses Lake Chiefs. 6:47 left here in our third quarter. Stay with us, folks. We're going to come back with more Moses Lake football on homecoming night in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
Interview someone, although. And welcome back, folks. Eastmont just punched in a touchdown. They're on top 17-6 over the Chiefs. And, of course, that drive helped out by a huge 15-yard penalty. Late hit out of bounds. just about when that drive was about to stall, you would think. But on the kickoff here, Moses Lake will bring it up to about their own 34.
First time Eastmont's actually kicked off to them deep. They weren't quite ready for that.
Yeah, up to this point, they've just been been trying some squib kicks.
Yep. Trino Rubio had a nice return, had some good blockers in front of him, but it didn't quite take off like they have been so far this season.
And Moses Lake will start at their own, looks like 33-yard line. Simmons, straight drop back pass. Had a man, tipped and almost intercepted by Eastmont.
Trey Thomas again in. He's a very good player in the backfield.
We have a flag on the plate. Holding against
And Moses Lake with another holding penalty. And it looks like Eastmont will take the penalty. And they'll replay first down. It'll be 1st and 20.
Holding against Chiefs.
And Moses Lake at their own 22.
First down and 21 at the 22-yard line.
Officials still talking it over. I don't know if you caught NFL games last. I'll come back to that here, Craig, in just a second. Moses Lake 1st and 20 from their own 22. Simmons will keep the ball this time. And he'll pick up maybe 6-7 yards.
Looked like he was going to get off for a pretty good break there, but defender stayed home, wouldn't let him bounce it outside.
Yeah, Eastmont closed in quick. Anyway, after a penalty, I don't know if you caught this, but they marched off a penalty. It's supposed to be from the offenses or the defense's 40, and they marched it off from the other team's 40-yard line.
Wow.
Of course, that was headline news for the next couple days. Simmons scrambling, and he'll go out of bounds. He'll pick up another 3 yards.
Looks like they had the corner blitz on that time.
Chiefs looking at 3rd down and about 13 to go. They've got the ball at about their own 30-yard line.
3rd down and 13 at the 20-yard line.
We're just inside 6 minutes here in our 3rd quarter. Simmons, play action pass, tries to escape, and Eastmont will sack him. Back at the 23-yard line.
Kyle Hoffman had him initially, and then Hardgrove actually came in and finished him off. Looked for a second there like Simmons was going to get away, but couldn't quite get away from the Jersey tackle.
Yeah, so far, Moses Lake's offense has been having some difficulty aside from that one drive with that long pass.
Passing game hasn't been a threat yet. They haven't been able to get open. They've been putting a lot of pressure up front on him.
Punt almost blocked again. It'll hit at about the 41-yard line of Moses Lake. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds at the Moses Lake 34.
Wow, it looked like it had hit from out of bounds at first, but the referee on the side said no, it didn't, and so they backed it up another 10 yards with that bigger bounce.
Yeah. Again, Eastmont with some very good field position here. 4:59 left in our 3rd quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 17-6. Boy, that punt almost blocked.
It was.
Again. Yeah, I think the Chiefs, they have a game on their hands now.
They do. It's time to buckle up and get a good stop.
Eastmont handoff right up the gut. This time, the Moses Lake defensive line takes care of it.
Nicely done by Reese Levitt again.
That'll be a gain of about a yard, maybe a little less.
Game 2 on play second down, 24-yard line.
And we're at 4 minutes, 27 seconds here in our third quarter. Eastmont in the shotgun this time. Wide receiver in motion to the left. Straight drop back pass. Ball's in the air. And this almost intercepted.
Trino Rubio had that intercepted at the 2-yard line. It almost looked like he was looking ahead to see how much room he had in front of him.
Yeah.
The quarterback misread where the route was going. It was an easy interception for Trino.
And that's kind of been the kind of luck the Chiefs have had so far.
It has.
We're about halfway through our third quarter. Eastmont looking at 3rd and 8 from the Moses Lake 24. And trying a quarterback option to the right. Not much there, Craig.
Oh, nicely done again by that left side of the Chiefs defense. They did some motion there trying to confuse the defense, and then they started running the pitch. It looked like he had the better option to pitch out to that back, but he decided to keep it himself.
That's what it looked like to me also.
4th down and 7 at the 24.
4th down. It's going to be a long 7 to go from the Moses Lake 23. This would be about a 40-yard field goal.
Kind of in that no man's land here, a little too far for the field goal, so it looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah. And the officials will stop.
Looks like an Eastmont timeout.
Yeah, it is the case. Eastmont with the timeout. 3:22 left here in our third quarter. Wildcats on top, 17-6 over your Moses Lake Chiefs. We're going to be back in just a second, folks.
In Moses Lake, there's going to be a horse and tack sale at the Moses Lake Market. Used tack and other miscellaneous items are welcome. Tack will sell from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Horse sale will start at 1 p.m. sharp, so be sure to be out there at 14372 Frontage Road East in Moses Lake, Washington. Fun for all, so bring the family. For more information, contact us at 750-5800.
And welcome back, folks. Eastmont with the timeout. They're looking at 4th down and 7 from the Moses Lake 23-yard line. And we've got Bill Stevenson on our camera here, and he's doing his very best. He's trying to dance over here, and he's trying to make me laugh on air. He's not going to be happy until I do, but 3:22 left here in our third quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 17-6. 4th down and 7 from the Moses Lake 23. Eastmont straight drop back pass, ball in the air, and this time it will be intercepted, and he'll roll out of bounds.
The wrong time for the interception, though.
At the 2-yard line, and I'm going to guess, Craig, that play will be shown during game film.
Yes.
On Monday.
It was the same exact play as before that he should have had intercepted on
He
third
wasn't
down.
going to drop it this time, though. And Simmons will take the field with the offense, and they'll start at their own 3-yard line.
He just knocks that ball down. It's 1st and 10 on the 22 instead of the 2, but that's all right. It was nicely done, well read, well played.
Moses Lake, they always make these games interesting. You got to give them that, though, Craig.
Yes, it's been a great, fun season to watch.
Simmons in the shotgun, takes the ball in his own end zone. He'll take off running. Quarterback keeper off the left-hand side there.
Still going ahead.
And he'll be close.
Looks like he got it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to pick up that first down.
Well, you can almost see with this play that Simmons has decided it's his time. If they're going to get this done, he's got to put it on his shoulders.
And that will be the case. First down for Moses Lake at their own 14. That gives them a little breathing room here. Still a long ways to go. And we're inside 3 minutes here in the third quarter. Chiefs down by 11 points. Eastmont 17, Chiefs 6. Quarterback option, right side. Simmons will keep it. Boy, and he is gang tackled at about the 19-yard line.
He wanted to pitch that out. They had the end shut down, but they also had the running back covered. So he made the smart choice and turned it up.
Yeah.
Ended up getting good yardage, though.
Yeah, not bad. About 5, maybe 6 yards. Yeah, they'll spot it at the 20. Second down and 4. Closing in on 2 minutes here in our third quarter. Simmons rolling out to his right, looking downfield. This time he's got a man. Ball caught at about the 31.
Great catch by Cameron Ballard in traffic. Looks like they're also hoping for Mosier on the wheel route, and he had his man beat, but Simmons was under pressure, had to get rid of it sooner.
First and 10, Chiefs.
And Moses Lake with another first down. 2 first downs in a row here. Yep. They haven't been able to do that very much so far in this game.
They've got Eastmont a little tired, a little bit on their heels now.
And Simmons in the shotgun this time, takes off to the left. He'll keep it, and he'll pick up another 10 yards.
That one was Simmons all the way. He never looked to pitch that out at all. He knew what he wanted.
Boy, he had some good blocking up there.
Second one at the...
And looks like he'll pick up 9 yards on that carry. Second down and 1.
This could be an optimum throwing play here. See if they can pick one up deep with just a yard to go for the first down.
Yeah. And handoff up the middle. And he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards, and that'll move the chains for Moses Lake.
Cameron Law, good hard running, slipped his first tackle coming through the line.
Yeah, they'll place the ball at the Moses Lake 42. Yeah, the offense is looking like they're playing with some purpose. Simmons rolling out to his right. He's looking deep. He'll fire it, and intercepted by Eastmont's number 40. Flagged down on the play.
Looks like we got a face mask as well after the interception.
I think you're right. I think that's going to go, that face mask call is going to go against the Chiefs.
First poor decision we've seen made by Simmons tonight. He had, the last time around, he had his receiver wide open on that wheel route, so they tried it again, and this time it was much better covered.
Yeah, and you could really say that about the whole season. He doesn't make he hasn't made a lot of bad throws.
He kind of had a little indecision on whether he wanted to run that or actually loft it up there, and he didn't get any power under it.
And the officials, right now, they've got the ball spotted at the Eastmont 24. And that should be an incidental face mask. That'll move it up another 5. No. And they're going to march a 15-yard penalty. Wow.
Yeah, tough break for the Chiefs there.
Eastmont.
They had things really rolling.
Eastmont again with good field position. They'll start from their own 44. Just 31 seconds left in our third quarter. Eastmont on top, 17-6.
Looks like the referees are still talking about whether or not that was the right number of yardage to
Yeah, you know,
off.
it looked funny, didn't it?
It did.
It looked like it was more than 15. At least where they had the ball spotted at the 24, and we're at the 44. Now, I'm not that good at math, but that's more than 15. Okay, so it's a 20-yard face mask penalty, the most severe you could get. And handoff left-hand side, and Eastmont will power it up to across the 50 and to about the Moses Lake 47.
Yeah, Hardgrove just keeps punishing with his runs. Chiefs were up close but couldn't make the tackle. They get an arm on him but not bringing him down.
And that will stop the clock. Eastmont working out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, dumps it short. And they will pick up enough for the first down.
Found Kai Spencer in the flat there.
And they're going to place the ball at about the Moses Lake 37-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats at the 37-yard line.
Boy, the Moses Lake crowd has got a little quieter now.
Well, we've seen the Chiefs come back from a bigger deficit.
We sure have.
They came back against Eisenhower with a great fourth quarter.
And they won that one 50-49. That's going to wrap up our third quarter here. Eastmont with the 11-point lead, 17-6 over the Moses Lake Chiefs. We're back in just a moment, folks.
For all those who don't know, Broadway Bar and Grill, located at 302 West Broadway, is the spot to be every night of the week. Monday through Wednesday night karaoke. Thursday night, ladies, it's all for you. Drink specials and a DJ. Friday night, live music, blues, rock to heavy metal. And on Saturday nights, come get down with Big Daddy DJ Live and the official Corona party at Broadway Bar and Grill, 302 West Broadway in Moses Lake. Don't forget, we have great food, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Hi, I'm Annette with Grant PUD. Don't let your bill catch you off guard when the weather changes. Sign up for our budget pay program, which will take 12 months of your regular bill and average it so you have one easy to pay amount every month. Ask your CSR at 766-2505 or look us up at www.gcpud.org for more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And welcome back, folks. Eastmont to begin the fourth quarter here. Handoff right up the middle. Maybe a gain of only a couple on that.
Well, again, Hardgrove just keeps chugging the head. The Chiefs had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he barreled through for another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, but he's not tearing off 8 or 10 yards a pop.
That's right.
Now.
He's not making it too far past that first line. That's Chiefs obviously key to getting back into this is they got to stop this drive, and they got to stop it soon.
Yeah, he will pick up 4. Second down and 6 from the Moses Lake 33-yard line. Shotgun. Play action pass, looking deep. He's scrambling, running for his life. Chiefs will bring him down near the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up a few inches.
Nice job by Jonathan Perales. Was hanging around in the middle, came up and made a nice form tackle to bring him down.
And it does look like he picked up a yard maybe. Third down and 5 to go from the Moses Lake 32.
Third down and 4
And Eastmont working out of that shotgun again. Going with the silent count. Quarterback keeper, and the Chiefs are there. Met him at the line of scrimmage.
Nicely done. Not quite sure what the effort or why they keep shifting the running back from one side to the other. If they have something they're looking to set up with that, or
I don't know either. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 4 yards to go. And it looks like Eastmont.
Yeah. Again, they're in that no man's land.
Yeah, they're going to go for it on 4th down from the Moses Lake 32. In the shotgun. Eastmont dropping straight back to pass. Ball in the air, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Hit him right in the chest.
He had Brian Burt right at the 1st down marker. It looked like they were going to get it, but hit him in a bad spot, like you said.
Yeah, and boy, so far for the Moses Lake offense, if they didn't have bad luck, they wouldn't have any at all so far.
Yep. They were marching that last time. Hopefully Simmons can shake off that errant throw that he had in the last series and continue pushing forward and get a score up on the board here.
9:47 left in our 4th quarter. Eastmont 17, Moses Lake 6. Simmons in the shotgun, quarterback option right. He'll keep it and take it to about the 35.
Flag on the play after a pickup of about 3.
Maybe it's a 20-yard face mask.
We can only hope. They're talking to the Moses Lake quarterback, so it looks like it's going to be against Eastmont. And a big penalty at that.
Yeah, boy, Eastmont is starting to walk back a good 10 yards.
Well, it looks like a personal foul, 15-yarder.
Yeah, you are right. And that's going to move the Chiefs.
Wasn't quite the 20-yard variety, but pretty close.
Yeah, 15. That'll move the Chiefs into Eastmont territory at the 49. Straight drop back pass. Simmons looking deep, scrambling to avoid pressure. They're going to tackle him. He tries to dive forward. He may have made it back to the line of scrimmage. Nope. They're gonna mark him off for a 1-yard loss, so that'll go down as a sack for Eastmont.
Darren Hardgrove coming from the right defensive end area.
2nd down, 11 yards to go. Chiefs at their own 49, straight drop back pass. Simmons, pressure again. He's wrapped up. No, he escapes and tries to break it around the right side. And he picked up just maybe inches.
Looks like Eastmont's been playing some real good, tough up front man-to-man pressure on the wide receivers. A little different than Moses Lake's been used to. They haven't been able to break away early. And in the meantime, Eastmont's getting a real good rush.
Yeah, they're getting some good pressure on Simmons so far. 3rd down and 11 from the 50-yard line. Simmons rolling to his left this time. He's hit as he throws, and it's going to be
Looks like it's going to be an easy pass interference call. Cameron Ballard was coming back for it and got taken down.
Yeah, Chiefs very lucky. Simmons was hit. That ball looked like a lame duck.
Yep.
And the Eastmont crowd not happy with the pass interference call.
2 big breaks here for Moses Lake.
Yeah.
See if they can capitalize.
You know, I'm impressed with that pass. You noticed Moses Lake's other wide receiver was trying to get in there and knock it down.
Yep.
So Eastmont wouldn't come away with another interception. And 15-yard penalty. That'll give the Chiefs a first down at the Eastmont 35. 8 minutes, 40 seconds left here in our fourth quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 17-6. Trips right, Simmons in the shotgun. Simmons pumps, now he's rolling to his right. He's just going to take off and run and gets out of bounds at about the 28.
Nice thing that Simmons does is he doesn't wait around. After that initial look for the throws, there's not open. He's not afraid to tuck the ball away and start running with it. Did a nice job picking up about 8 there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, you know, and that's where that experience has really come in. He might have, you know, a year ago or a couple years ago, that could have, had he stayed around and looking for a pass, he may have been sacked. Trips left. Second down, 4 yards to go. Handoff right up the gut. Big hole.
There's that breakaway Cameron Law's been trying to get.
And another flag on the play after the fact. Boy, that flag went way in the air. I don't know what the penalty was.
Unsportsmanlike conduct by Eastmont there after the play. It was well gone and dead.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that, Craig, but after Simmons handed that ball off, he took off running like he still had the ball. And that's the kind of, you know, you talk about how smart he is with this option offense. And that's why that run, why they broke so long there. And they're going to march off a few more yards after the penalty. Half the distance of the goal will put it at the Eastmont 9.
Chiefs getting some big help from Eastmont with penalties on this drive.
They sure are. 3 big penalties against the Wildcats in this drive alone.
A good 35, 40 yards worth of penalties so far.
We're closing in on the 8-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. And I think Chiefs will give a few yards back.
Yeah, both wide receivers out there on the left side jumped.
That'll move them back to the 14. Now they're on the 14. They're not going to be able to pick up a first down here. It's first and goal. And Moses Lake trips right. And it looks like Moses Lake is going to take a timeout here. 7:55 left here in our fourth quarter. Eastmont Wildcats 17, Moses Lake 6. Stay with us, folks. We're back with fourth quarter action here in just a bit.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD.
And coming out of a Moses Lake timeout They've got a first down on the 14 with a 5-yard penalty. It's first and goal from the 14. Simmons with some pressure, able to escape, and he's looking to turn the corner on the left side there. And, boy, he was holding that ball out.
Boy, he's been doing that a little bit too much, holding it like a loaf of bread, so they say. He did get back to the 9. Nice run after the initial pressure there, but a little dangerous.
Yeah. That would be about the last thing they need is a fumble here.
Yep.
Second down from the 10-yard line of Eastmont. Simmons in the shotgun, rolling to his right. He's got a man open. Can he get away? He's going to just tuck it in and run. Touchdown, Moses Lake.
Great decision once again. He had a guy in traffic, maybe could have threaded it, but he was on the run to his right side. He tucked it up and made a good hard finish. Elliott Sage will be out to try the extra point. A little surprised they're not going for 2 here, although we could possibly see a fake.
Yeah. You know, we saw Moses Lake convert a 2-point play against Wenatchee.
That's right. It looks like they're going to come out into it again where they spread the field wide. See if they can pitch it out here to Brent Mosier.
Yeah, we saw.
Or will they run it up the middle?
We saw Simmons take it in himself in this formation, going for 2, and he will take it in, and he dives in for the 2-point conversion.
Great effort. They had him by the back of the jersey, but he snuck in. I like that play. They've got a couple of different options out of it. They can run it straight up, or they can toss it out to the outside and have the back on the left side run it up.
With 7 minutes, 40 seconds left here in our fourth quarter, Moses Lake is closing in on Eastmont. Wildcats with the lead, 17-14. Let's cut away here and thank our sponsors. Back with more action in just a bit.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
And welcome back, folks. Chiefs able to punch in a touchdown there. Boy, they got some good help, though, Craig. 3 big penalties against.
They sure did. You know, the Chiefs weren't playing that badly with the drive at all, but they definitely got some help out of those personal foul calls.
3 15-yarders, I think, is what it was. Chiefs set to kick off. 7:40 left here in our fourth quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 17-14. Eastmont fields it at their own 15. Takes it up to about the 34-yard line.
Nice return by Brian Burt there for Eastmont.
Down at 10 for the Wildcats at the 34-yard line.
And the Wildcats will start at their own 34. Officials.
Looks like they might be having some problems with the play clock up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to put about 12 seconds back on the clock.
Yeah. 7:14 is what we show now here. Left in our fourth quarter.
quite a bit of time here yet, but Moses Lake really still needs to get another stop. I don't think they can afford to let Eastmont get in the end zone here.
No, I think you're right. You know, don't get me wrong, Moses Lake is capable of putting up some big points, but I tell you, Eastmont's done a good job defensively so far.
Eastmont, if it hadn't been for those penalties, they might not have been able to get the score they did. So
yeah, a 45-yard assistance with by the Wildcats.
They've had great pressure up front.
And we're going to put even more time back on the clock, 7:32.
Looks like they had let the clock run down a bit after the kickoff.
Eastmont first down from their own 34. You can hear the crowd in the background. It is homecoming here in Moses Lake. Chiefs down by 3 points, 17-14. Eastmont, quick pass to the halfback right-hand side, and they'll take him out of bounds, gain of maybe 2 yards.
Nicely done there by Renwell Bacat again. He's having a good game.
Yeah, he is.
He's been making lots of good hits on those quick screens.
I don't show, or I haven't seen Eastmont tapering off.
No, they're not
much.
showing much of being tired. You know, you'd think having to practice in the gym and all, they wouldn't quite be in total condition with this, but no, it hasn't slowed them up much.
Well, we don't have the numbers, but I think time of possession would favor Eastmont so far.
Absolutely.
And quarterback keeper, he faked the handoff. He takes it up to about the 44-yard line.
Real close to the first down.
It is. That's maybe even worth a measurement.
Referee's giving him a talking to there. I'm not sure what's going down there on the field, but it looks like guys getting in their faces.
Yeah, both of these teams have been flagged for penalties after the fact. Third down in inches. I'm going to call it maybe 7 inches to go there, Craig.
Yep. I'm sure we can expect a handoff to Hardgrove right up the middle here.
Yeah, clock is ticking, 6:35 left. Quarterback under center this time. Quarterback keeper, he'll pick up the first down and then some.
Got a little slide off to the left of the guard there, easy enough for the first down.
And they're going to spot the ball at about the Eastmont 48.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats at the 43-yard line.
Eastmont with another first down here. And this time Eastmont will work out of the shotgun. Wide receiver in motion to the left. Looking to pass. He's got a man over there on the left-hand side. Hit and taken down at about the Moses Lake 45.
Moses Lake defensive backs giving quite a bit of cushion there. A little worried about that deep pass. So Eastmont keeps hitching it up, and the quarterback on the money. Again, he's a very efficient quarterback. You know, again, 13 of 15 last game. He's been throwing out an average about 65 to 70%. So,
you know, in this group of wide receivers for Eastmont, it's a pretty good, starting 3 or 4 there.
Yep. He's got some speed, definitely, with Trey Thomas on the outside.
Second down, 4 yards to go. This time handoff up the middle, hit hard.
Nicely done.
Flag on the play, but holy smokes, he was hit hard.
Jonathan Perales with a great head-up tackle.
Picked him up and put him down.
Looked like the receiver going in motion was headed towards the line of scrimmage a little bit early.
I think you're right.
They'll take the penalty.
Yeah, and head coach Todd Griffiths is saying you did take that penalty. He looked pretty excited about that, marching them
back. A little emphatic about, yes, we will take the penalty there.
That'll put the ball at about the 50-yard line.
Second down and 8 at the 50-yard line.
They'll replay second down. It'll be 2nd and 8. And Eastmont in the shotgun. And fake handoff. He's got pressure. Avoids one Chief, and he's going to be gang tackled at about the 43-yard line.
I couldn't see for sure who made that initial blitz there. It looked like Sean Jewell.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Through untouched.
Yeah, and then he had help from about 3 more of his teammates. And
Looked like they were going for a play-action pass, and they might have had something deep there, but Chiefs played that well. Good timing on the stunt.
Boy, you are right. 3rd down and about 13 to go. Eastmont at their own 44 now. Shotgun again, quarterback keeper. He's trying to find some room anywhere, and there is nothing there.
Done. Cameron Law steps up and catches him at the ankles right at about the line of scrimmage.
That is the stop Moses Lake has been looking for 3.5 quarters.
We could see a repeat of the Wenatchee game here. 3 minutes.
You know, the Chiefs have been entertaining this year,
They sure have, boy. They've kept things exciting.
4th down and 12 to go. They're going to punt from their own 45. Rubio is back deep to receive. 3:22 left here in our 4th quarter. Snap is good. Punt is away, and it's a
Big
good
punt.
high punt deep. Rubio gets away from it. It takes an Eastmont bounce inside the 5 to the Moses Lake half-yard line. We do have a penalty on the play back at the 30.
Could be another personal foul of some sort.
I was so amazed watching that ball roll. I missed it myself. That might have been a situation where you called a fair catch.
Yes.
And
I'm not sure why Rubio didn't call the fair catch. He had the ball still in front of him. It would have been pretty easy to catch that more up towards the 15.
Well, with all the personal fouls going on, maybe he was thinking
he might have seen the
fair
flag.
catch or not. I mean, I'm going to get hit. Did we figure? Okay, it must be going against Eastmont.
Oh, sideline warning.
And boy, that's a very lucky break for Moses Lake.
And do they?
Eastmont had the ball downed inside the 1. And that's going to bring it out to about the 15.
First and 10, Chiefs at the 15-yard line.
Another fortunate penalty for Moses Lake.
Yeah, boy. Another 15-yarder. The last 2 drives, what is that? 45, 60
yards, yeah.
3:05 left here in our 4th. Simmons, handoff up the middle, and boy, he's got a lot of room that time.
No time or no reason to panic yet. Lots of time here. Just need to be efficient with the run plays. Cameron Law busts off 9 there right up the middle.
Yeah, I do think this is probably a situation where you don't really want to give the ball back to Eastmont without first taking the lead here. 2nd down, 2 yards to go from their own 24. Simmons, option right. He'll keep it himself. Tries to spin away from an Eastmont defender. He will pick up the 1st down.
Stops the clock so they can move the chains. Simmons did a nice job keeping his feet just far enough to get up there for the 1st down. They had him spun around.
And they're going to spot the ball at the Moses Lake 27. 2:27 left in our fourth. And Moses Lake with trips to the left, single wide receiver to the right. Simmons looking to pass. He's got a man, catches the ball, and smartly goes out of bounds.
Nicely done. Cameron Ballard just running a short hitch there for, well, it ended up not being real short. He got about 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Ran his man off. They have a big cushion out there.
They're going to spot the ball at the 37. Boy, that is very close to the first down. Looks like they're going to bring out the chains for a measurement. 2:14 left in our game.
Moses Lake receivers have been pretty quiet tonight, so
They
nice
have.
to see Ballard finally getting a little breaking loose there. Just by the nose of the football, they get the first down.
Yeah. That will move the chains. Yeah, you know, in all the other games, we've seen a lot more yardage through the air. And the clock is stopped as he went out of bounds. 2:14 left here in the fourth quarter. First down from their own 37-yard line. Simmons rolling to his left. No one open. He is wrapped up and sacked back at about the 32.
Boy, the Eastmont defensive backs have played really well tonight. They are putting great pressure, allowing the rush to get in there and get a hold of Simmons.
Yeah.
Looks like he might have twisted up an ankle on that play as well.
And Moses Lake will take the timeout. 2:06 left in the fourth quarter. Eastmont with the lead, 17-14. We'll take a quick 30-second break ourselves and be right back.
Second down, 14 at the 34.
Hi, I'm Scott with Grant Beauty. Winter weather can bring higher power bills. Using power wisely can help. Keep the thermostat at 68 degrees, close curtains to keep the heat in, turn off lights when you leave a room. Be sure to close foundation vents and replace weather stripping around doors and windows. You can make a difference in your power bill by applying these simple tips. Visit gcpud.org for more information and like us on Facebook.
And Moses Lake coming out of the timeout here. They've got one timeout left. Simmons dropping straight back to pass. He's wrapped up. Ball is fumbled on the ground. Eastmont may have recovered it.
Like they might have gotten on top of that. And they have.
Eastmont with the fumble recovery at the Moses Lake 25. And Simmons, I think, was trying to work hard to get out of the sack, but had the ball stripped from him.
Last couple plays, they've tried to roll him to the left side, and that's tough for any quarterback to make a throw going towards his opposite hand. He tried to set up there to make a throw, and they buried him.
And we're inside 2 minutes now, 1:58 left. Eastmont working from the Moses Lake 25. Eastmont's going to take a timeout now. Eastmont with the lead, 17-14. Back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Annette with Grant PUD. Don't let your bill catch you off guard when the weather changes. Sign up for our budget pay program, which will take 12 months of your regular bill and average it so you have one easy to pay amount every month. Ask your CSR at 766-2505 or look us up at www.gcpud.org for more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And Eastmont with the timeout. 1:58 left here in the fourth quarter. They've got the lead 17-14. And with the fumble recovery, they're going to start 1st and 10 from the Moses Lake 25. Now, Moses Lake only has 1 timeout left. They're going to have to do a quick 3 and out if they can.
Looks like trying hard to strip the ball there, but no luck. Hargrove's a pretty strong kid. Not going to be easy to pull it out of his hands.
Gain of about 2. 2nd down and 8. 1:32 left on the clock. Eastmont might be able to. If they get a 1st down, it could be all over just like that. And Eastmont out of the shotgun this time. Another handoff to the big running back, and he's going to take it inside the 15. Boy, that's going to be close to a 1st down.
Close. Looks like he's going to be a yard shy maybe, but...
And they're going to get... Moses Lake's going to get a generous spot there. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. 45 seconds left. 20 seconds on the play clock. Moses Lake's gonna have to stop him here and take a quick timeout. Quarterback keeper, and he's got the 1st down and more. Touchdown, Eastmont. And
nicely done by the quarterback for the Eastmont. Slid through that initial break. Looked like he was just going to try and push forward for the 1st down, and then he's kept his feet after everybody going low.
And Eastmont on top, 23-14. They've set up the extra point kick. And low snap. Ball is...
it's good.
And good kick. Eastmont up by 10, just 21 seconds left.
Well played game by both teams as far as defense goes. You know, both these teams can put up a lot of points, and neither of them has tonight.
Boy, I tell you, this Eastmont team is surprising a lot of people this year.
Well, they've got good weapons. Their offensive line is strong. They can definitely run the ball. They've got a quarterback that, again, makes wise decisions. But I've been definitely surprised by their defense tonight. Moses Lake, I know, had hoped that their man coverage up front, they'd be able to break off some long ones.
Yeah. And Eastmont set to kick. 21 seconds left in the game. Rubio is back deep. Now, if you draw it up on the chalkboard, you get him to return that kick. Ooh, and Eastmont may have recovered.
Yeah. Another squib kick bounced off of Jordan LaCille, unfortunately, into the Eastmont hands.
Yeah. That is certainly going to put it away. Eastmont will take over at the Moses Lake. Looks like Eastmont will have the ball at the Moses Lake 46. And taking a knee here should end our game. And a disappointing loss for the Moses Lake Chiefs on homecoming. Losing to the Eastmont Wildcats 24-14. Let's take a quick commercial break to thank our sponsors. And we'll come back with a short post-game wrap-up because we're coming to the bottom of the hour, and I told you we're going to rebroadcast the game. So we got to make sure and close out by 9:30 tonight. So let's go to that quick commercial break and come back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Mark Fancher at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home. It's still a good time to sell your home, provided you have the right agent. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have the right agent help you sell your home. And at Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home, you'll find sales associates who know how to market your home, help you with the right price, and maximize its curb appeal. Your home is probably the most important asset. Call Caldwell Banker Tomlinson Ranch and Home at 509-766-0300 today.
Do you know that we have great rebates for homeowners who need to install more insulation or replace drafty windows? Hi, I'm Scott with Energy Services at Grant PUD. To see if you qualify for the program, call us at 766-2512 to schedule a free energy audit. The audit will help you determine the best way to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient. For more information, visit gcpud.org and like us on Facebook.
And welcome back, folks. Tough loss here for the Chiefs tonight, Craig.
It sure was. You know, Moses Lake for a bit there looked like they might be able to make another spectacular comeback. Unfortunately, it was ended by a tough fumble. Simmons played real hard. He was playing hurt there at the end of the game, and he got overrun by a real strong Eastmont rush.
You know, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Eastmont.
Boy,
they played well both sides of the ball.
They did, and their defensive backs, I think, were really the key to shutting down the potent Moses Lake offense.
They did. Not a lot of yards. We don't have the stats, but not a lot of yards through the air like we've seen in the other games.
No big yards after the catch. You know, we've been seeing Brett Mosier breaking off some long ones. You know, he had 3 touchdowns in one game and none tonight. So.
Yeah, just that one long touchdown pass early in the game. You know, Moses Lake hit the scoreboard first, and you know, Eastmont just continued to move the ball.
They kept the pressure on well, you know, and we had thought that we might see them tire out by the end of the game, but we sure didn't see any signs of it. They were up for this one, that's for sure. Big game.
Yeah, you know, and we said early on, you know, with the smoke down in Wenatchee, they've been having to practice in the gym, or, you know, I know they even traveled out to Quincy a couple times, but you know, they're doing a lot of walkthrough practices, and I don't know, maybe you know, not having to have full practices, you know, maybe that helped them too.
Could be. You know, it's going to bring up an interesting deal depending on what happened with Eisenhower tonight. We could have a 3-way tie for first place in the league. So
yeah, because Moses Lake with the win over Eisenhower.
Yep.
Eisenhower having beat Eastmont last weekend, and now we've got Eastmont with the win over Moses Lake.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're probably going to try and find out as soon as we can what happened with Eisenhower tonight. But, yeah, we could be looking at a 3-way tie for first place.
Still a lot of games left in the season, though. It could be interesting.
There is. And, you know, these teams are going to play each other twice this year.
Yep.
So, all right, we're going to send it back down to you guys down in the studio. Craig, before we sign off here, give them your phone number and your website one more time. We talked about the mouth guards that you can do for kids right now.
Thanks, Cody. It's our office phone number is 765-4351, and our website is moseslakedentist.com.
Craig, thank you once again for doing our color commentary. I'm Kody Johnson with iFIBER One Sports, and we're going to close out. And don't forget, in about 30 minutes, we're going to start the rebroadcast, starting with our pregame show.